Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. I'm having technological problems again. Cannot get on my computer. So I'm not able to see who's there. So do you know whether we have a quorum? Is Miss English and Miss Terratio in attendance?
Miss
Hello?
McBride, Miss Terratio is here, so you have a quorum.
Okay, we have a quorum. Thank you. Okay.
Hi, so I
It is-
apologize for being a little late. I had, I'm just leaving a dentist appointment.
That's okay. We just started.
Okay.
Okay, it's 3:01, and I will officially call the Detention Center Ad Hoc Committee to order. May I have the roll call, please?
McBride,
Present.
Terratio,
Present.
English. We do have a quorum.
All right, thank you. Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for May 4th, 2020 on pages 2 through 7.
Move to, Madam
have a
Chair, move to approve.
A motion to for approval of the minutes. Is there a second? I will second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The minutes have been approved. Next on the agenda is a motion for the adoption of the agenda.
Move to adopt the agenda, Madam Chair.
I second it. It has been properly seconded for the adoption of the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. The agenda has been adopted. Fourth on the item is the election of the chair. The committee is now open for nominations for the election of chair. And I would like to nominate Councilwoman Allison Terratio.
Thank you. I'll accept the nomination.
Okay, thank you. It has been moved and properly second. All in favor, but say aye.
Aye.
Aye. With that, we have elected Ms. Allison Terratio as our chairperson, and I look forward to her leadership, and congratulations, Ms. Terratio, and I will turn the meeting over to you.
Thank you, Ms. McBride.
Unless you want me to finish it. Okay, you're
No,
fine with carrying it.
I'm fine with carrying it on. The next
Okay.
item on our agenda is the detainee phone system found on pages 8 through 16 of our agenda today. And I am very much looking forward to this conversation with you, Ms. McBride. I'll just ask, do we have staff on the line to give us any updates or anything that they would like us to know?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Myers?
Yes, I'm on the line.
Thank you. Mr. Myers, is there anything else that you would like to bring or anything you'd like to bring our attention to before we start discussion?
Yes, as you know, the phone system is very crucial to inmates or detainees, since we have both at the Alvin Glen Detention Center. And I just want to, just for us to get as far as what the commission rate, or if there's going to be a commission rate, as I understand it, to make sure we're charging what council wants us to do. Right.
I think that one of my main concerns was just around the price of the phone call per minute versus what the actual cost is. So the cost to the detainee or inmate versus what it actually costs us to provide that service to them. And it was my intention to try to keep that those two numbers as close to each other as possible. I don't want to necessarily call on anybody, but Miss McBride, you had some other thoughts about?
Yes, I concur with you. And if there was any revenue to be made from that, is keep it as low as possible. But any additional resources would be directed for the detention facility for use in social services and other areas of need for detainees. Previously, that money had been going into a general fund for the county.
Right. So, and I totally agree with you there, Ms. McBride, that any, in essence, profit that would be made on the phone calls made at the detention center should be reinvested into services for these folks.
Well stated.
Now, I see in our packet the council inquiry number 3. The response was, despite staff attempts, the current vendor and the proposed vendor have not provided information relative to the cost of service and equipment provision. Mr. Myers, I don't necessarily know if you are the right person, but I'll just ask, if you do know, how can a service provider not, are they just unwilling to give us the information? Surely they know it, because if you don't know what it costs you to provide a service, maybe you ought not be in the business of providing a service. So is there just a hesitancy to reveal that information?
I don't think, if I may, Madam Chair,
Yes, please.
I don't think there's a hesitant to say what the cost is. They probably don't know, because this is a complete startup for them. They can give you an approximate cost, which is approximately, I think the cost they gave us, I think it's about 6 or 7 cents per call.
Okay. So if we thought it were 6 or 7 cents per call, could we then, go to them with that amount and start negotiations from there?
That would be I'm gonna leave that to procurement.
Okay. Yeah, and if there's somebody on procurement that can help explain how how we can get from a 16 cent per minute rate to something that looks more like closer to cost, that would be super helpful.
Yes, Mr. Asio, this is Jennifer Ladishkin from procurement. May I be recognized?
Yes, please.
Regarding the negotiation of the rates, I'm fairly confident that the county would be able to negotiate, since it's my understanding that what we're wanting to negotiate is our commission structure.
Right.
So, we're not asking the contracted vendor to encroach on their ability to charge us what it costs for them to perform the service of providing those calls. So I'm fairly certain we would be able to negotiate. And with regard to what exactly their cost is, I agree with Mr. Myers, but there also may be some reticence for them disclosing their fee structures in that way, but we can certainly have the conversation with them if that's the will of the committee and council.
That sounds good to me. Ms. McBride, do you have any input on this?
Yes, I think that the fact that we can determine once we negotiate, see how we spend the money, that's left up to us in terms of what we want to charge to 10 cents or step 8 cents or 12 cents. Is that correct, Mr. Myers?
Yes, that's correct, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, that leaves us with at least some negotiation room within ourselves, Mr. Ratio, the way I see it. But I do know that we're also looking at, looking at the contractor, right? The vendor. And
Yes.
I guess once we need to if we can make a determination on that, then we'll be in a better mood to, in a situation where we can move forward. I do know that one thing that's important, I guess we've discussed before, is the, and you might be able to help me with this, Mr. Myers, in terms of additional information we need for technological information we need for the center.
Yeah, so
There was something.
sorry
Okay.
I'm sorry for cutting you off.
That's okay. No, go ahead, explain.
Yes, ma'am. There's a technology grant that the phone system give to where jails can update their system, the jail management systems. Those are one of the things that that we desperately need. We've had the same jail management system that Richland County IT department has been trying to keep up with, but that service is so archaic. Everything we basically do is manual. We put reports in it. We've been putting reports in for the last 15 years, and we can't even get the reports out without them writing a script or a programmer coming in to program to get the reports, and then they spit out about 6,000 or 7,000 pieces of paper that we have to go through. So it's a very archaic system that we have. So I would love for that to be included in the proposal with the phones contract.
Mr. Horatio, may I follow up with a question?
So I'm sorry, Mr. Myers, thank you for bringing this to our attention as well. Is the jail system that you're speaking of, is it connected to the phone system? Or are we talking about maybe funding?
That's funding it.
Okay, so using the more or less the commission, I guess that's the right word, the commission from the phone system to improve or replace the current jail system. And am I using those terms correctly?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Okay. And then could you just tell me, like, is this sort of this is the first time kind of hearing of this system. Is this like security, or is this kind of, can you give us, or is it everything? Is it personnel? Like, can you give us a little bit of a description of what the system is?
Basically, a JMS system is where all the inmate or detainee information is stored. Keeps all the records, it keeps all the reports, statistics, any infractions that the inmates do. You can actually go to the software and you can look everything up and be at the officer's fingertips. Currently, we don't have anything like that available.
Okay. And do we have estimates for what that would cost yet at this time?
No, ma'am, that would come out of the revenue we will have to go out and we'll have the phone company go out to solicit for us, and they would bring it back to us and we'll pick the best fit for the jail.
Okay.
Follow-up question.
Yes, Ms. McBride.
Okay. So with the JM system, that is something that the current vendor, well, the recommended vendor does, the GTL, that's something that they do, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So if we contract with GTL, they would be able to provide the GM system as a part of that contract. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So so that would be a part of the overall fee negotiating. That's in if they charge us, if they say they charge us whatever amount of money, that's already included in that?
Yes, that would be included in the fee.
Okay. Okay. And if that's already included in that fee, it is a possibility that we can still set a rate at 10 cents per minute and still get that included, and may also have revenue from the phone services that we could use to assist the center in other areas. Am I going too far?
I'm hesitant to say yes until we sit down with negotiations and find out exactly which way we're going to go with this. But I'm pretty sure we still can come within close to 10 cents per minute.
Okay. Madam Chair, can I make a motion?
Yes, please.
Or you want further discussion? Okay.
And I will also, so I'm sorry, just before you do that, I believe that I saw Miss English join us.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so just wanted to acknowledge her presence. Okay, thank you. Ms. McBride, if you want to continue with your motion.
Okay. I move that we accept the contract with GTL based on the recommendations of the committee, the purchasing review of the procurement management system. So let me start off. I move that we accept the contract with GTL and that the call center rate will be set at 10 cents per minute, and that the jail is also authorized to have a technology grant through GTL for our jail management system. And also, I want to add that any revenue generated from the ICS contract be placed into the Alvin Glenn Detention Center budget for needs for mental health and other needs for the detainees.
Thank you, Ms. McBride. I'll second that motion. Is there any discussion? And Ms. English, please feel free to speak up with any questions about this motion.
No, I think I'm good. I came in when you guys first started talking about it, so.
Okay, great. I'm sorry that I didn't notice you before.
That's okay.
Okay, I was looking at my packet and not at my screen. Okay, so so the motion is to accept the contract with the GTL, and that is our current provider, correct?
No, that's a new provider.
This is the new provider. Okay.
Mhm.
And that this provider would also be able to provide the jail system as part of that contract.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that would be a, yes, go ahead.
And we set the rate at 10 cents per minute.
Okay. And we desperately need this jail system upgrade because currently we're running on a paper heavy system. Is that correct, Mr. Myers?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct.
Okay. And in this system, would you say that that employees at the detention center would be able to access, records and such, say from their device in the moment if they needed to?
Yes, ma'am, they have immediate access to that information once we put it in.
Okay. Okay. And I suppose there would be plenty of security in place so that if a device got into someone's hands, they would not be able to access something they didn't need to.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Okay. I'm just trying to talk it all through so that I can be very clear that I'm good with all of this. So that's the service from GTL, the rate set at 10 cents. I think that's a probably going to be a very that detainees will see a cost savings to them, and that also those extra funds would then be funneled back into the system for mental health and other social services. Is there any other clarity or any other questions about that motion? Okay, hearing none, I will have the roll called for the vote.
McBride,
Yes.
Horatio,
Yes.
English,
Yes.
motion passes.
Great, passes unanimously. So we will see that hopefully on our agenda. Okay, the last item is number 6, adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. Everyone in favor of adjournment? Aye.
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 Great. I will see you all at the next meeting.